Hey, Lantrans here. Welcome to my Kymar and Valkyrie Arena offense combo showcase. While the use of these two champions are quite common knowledge, I think my specific build on them and the rationale behind it you will find interesting. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Before I get into the specific builds, there was something about Valkyrie I wanted to talk briefly about. Particularly, when people use Valkyrie, people think of this passive here. So this reads that this champion's turn meter will be increased by 10% each time an enemy champion places a buff. Enemy champions will have their turn meters decreased by 10% for each buff they receive. So most often, people use Valkyrie to counter fast Siphi defenses because she places 3 buffs on all allies, and this will cause Valkyrie to gain 30% turn meter and decrease 30% turn meter on all enemy units, provided the accuracy check takes place. I think many people are concerned with the fact that Valkyrie will gain turn meter because of this passive here, and when facing Torment defenses, Valkyrie will have a chance to get frozen. So immediately, people think to put her in immunity gear, so she doesn't get frozen, and she gets a chance to use her A1, which reads that she will attack one enemy 2 times, decrease turn meter by 10% on each hit if the target has any buffs to decrease 20% turn meter total, plus another 20% potentially from Evil Eye Mastery, as a follow-up to further decrease another enemy unit's turn meter. Well, in order for her to even get a chance to follow up and get a turn along with a 30% turn meter boost from her passive after an enemy Siphi goes, she will require around 240 speed. If you need to hit that speed threshold while being in immunity, you are crimped for the amount of accuracy you can build on her. The issue arises when people build high resistance and lower accuracy warlords on their defenses to counter Valkyrie users, and it ends up becoming a gamble if you can even pass those accuracy checks to decrease his turn meter. On top of this, when you give Valkyrie a turn, you add an additional tick to all enemy units' turn meters, and because they have an existing speed buff from Siphi, this becomes bad news, especially if you're getting occasionally resisted. Instead, I suggest building a super slow Valkyrie with a zero regard for speed, and shifting focus purely on accuracy. This way you can ensure capping a 97% success rate of passing the accuracy check on a passive, and reliably giving your Kymar a turn while minimizing the ticks the enemy units take after Siphi gets her turn. In doing this, there is no need to use Valkyrie's A1, and it doesn't matter if she gets frozen. Lastly, it will speed up your overall offense since she takes less turns in between your stripper and nuker. Also, in regards to Kymar, I know a lot of people build him in immunity because of the fear of being frozen. However, there is something unique about his A3 ability here, which reads, resets the skills cooldown of all ally skills, fills the turn meter of all allies except this champion by 20%. While some people may think that this is a weakness that he doesn't boost his own turn meter, one can actually turn it into a strength by realizing that he doesn't risk freezing himself when facing Torment teams. Hence, I suggest to build Kymar, at least for the purpose of countering Siphi non-Hegemon teams, in pure speed gear. So these are the stats and gear I have on my units. For Kymar, my sole focus was speed and accuracy. For Valkyrie, my only focus was accuracy. For my immunity Madame, speed and accuracy were the only focuses for this build. Lastly, for my Trunda, in immunity, speed, attack, crit rate, and crit damage were my focus. The best part about this setup is that there is no need to care about resistance tuning against enemy Siphi Valkyrie teams, since you aren't actually placing any buffs on Madame and Trunda. Trunda is replaceable here. However, you need to have a fairly strong built immunity nuker to get away without attack up, simply because you're running with only Madame and you're relying on defense down to increase your damage. And these are the masteries I have on my units. For Kymar, Valkyrie, and Madame, they are simply running standard accuracy-based focus masteries. Trunda has just the standard optimal offense-based masteries, and if you're wondering why my Madame and Trunda are missing masteries under tier 5 level, it's because there was nothing in the defense tree that I needed. Cycle of Revenge Mastery, which is normally picked, was skipped on purpose because I use this immunity Madame and immunity Trunda against Hegemon teams, and by having it on them, it can cause my turn order to get messed up. Finally, these are minimum stat target requirements I'd recommend hitting before considering making this build. Also, here's just a quick reference as to what team counters and what I'd recommend to avoid hitting with this team. With all this said, here are some clips of this combo in action. I hope this showcase was helpful and it opened your eyes to possibly a different build style and use case for Kymar and Valkyrie. If you have any further questions, feel free to post them in the comment section and I'll respond in a timely manner. I appreciate you all, and until next time, Rantrans out.